As I said in the last video, there is a man who is very godly. His name is Lehi, and he sees visions from God. And his son Nephi is the kind of the main character of the Book of Mormon, at least at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. It's about 600 BC, so he doesn't obviously live until 400 AD, but in later parts of the Book of Mormon, I suppose they kind of go back to this man, this godly man, Lehi's son, Nephi. So Lehi had a son named Nephi, had another son named Laman, and then there were other sons as well. One of them I think is named Sam. And it's the time when the Jews in Israel are about to go into captivity in Babylon, but Lehi and his family are called into the through various visions through various visions and so on. Lehi is led into the wilderness by God, and that's where the Book of Mormon starts. All right, so Nephi and Laman and others go to this person named Laban, Laban, not Laman. They go to this person who they're related to, named Laban, and get from him brass plates. Now these plates are made of brass. They're beaten into plates, and they are basically the Old Testament, what we would call the Old Testament. So they get these plates from Laban, and they let's see, they take the plates back to Lehi in the wilderness, and then at a later point, Nephi wants to have some of these same visions that his father has been getting. So Nephi is alone in the wilderness, praying that he will have these same visions that his father has had. And when he starts seeing these visions, he sees various prophecies that were fulfilled in the New Testament, and apparently the Book of Mormon as well, things that were going to happen later in the Book of Mormon. And one of the most important things that he sees is a vision of the church of the devil. And the church of the devil will take, in the New Testament, which hasn't been written yet, of course, he'll take the church of the devil will take these New Testament writings, which are coming down in 100 AD or so, and remove, quote, plain and most precious, unquote, things relating to the gospel. So the plain and most precious parts of the gospel are removed from the New Testament by the church of the devil. And after this vision, which Nephi sees, the vision ends, and then he goes back to his family and says to his brothers had been talking with their father about a olive tree being grafted into the olive tree, which is similar to something that Jesus would say later on. Was it Jesus that's maybe it was Paul who talked about the Jews being grafted back in to the olive tree, and his brothers don't understand that, that story, and Nephi explains that that they'll be grafted back in to the olive tree. They I guess kind of apostatize away from the faith, and then later on they'll be grafted back in. It seems that the understanding of being grafted in is a little bit different in the Book of Mormon from in the New Testament, but at any rate, Nephi explains that, and then he explains to them about heaven and hell. Then in the desert, they find the Liahona, which is sometimes referred to as a compass, but that's not really what it is. What it is, it's a ball, and if the people who have the Liahona are faithful to God, the Liahona will show them where to go. So God is going to lead them to America, the promised land, using this Liahona. So they start building a boat. They ride in the boat to the promised land. After they get to America, Nephi makes some plates on which he writes First Nephi on, and the rest of the Book of Mormon, I suppose, as well. And then towards the end of the book of First Nephi, Nephi reads them from the brass plates, particularly Isaiah chapter 48 and Isaiah chapter 49, and also from the Torah. He reads to them to encourage them to be godly and to be faithful. And then finally, in the last chapter, Nephi's brothers ask him how to interpret what Nephi, had read to them from the Bible, and Nephi explains that what he was reading means that the Gentiles shall come to embrace the Mormon gospel and then bring it to the Jews, and God will protect the true church at that time from the church of the devil. He shall protect / defend the true church from its persecutors. So that is First Nephi in a nutshell. Chapter 13 is particularly important. That's where Nephi is praying to God, and he wants God to show him the visions that his father saw, and then he sees this vision about the church of the devil in contrast to the true church. So that's what chapter 13 of First Nephi is about, and I think I may want to read that, but it'll have to wait for another video. Thank you.